Hello, beautiful people. Happy July 19th. I'm going to butcher a word in this reading. And I actually, after reading it, it got me curious about when this book I was reading was printed. So it was originally published in 1990. And this is part of the Hazelden meditation series. And we have one of the books, maybe it's a female geared one at the office that I can't get into, that I used to enjoy. It was in the meditation room, so I would meditate and then read the reading, or vice versa. So who knows, maybe if I'm at home forever, buy that book and we do those daily readings when we cycle a year of this one. We shall see. Part of me wants to stay with you guys like forever. And what I mean is at least doing the morning reading with you guys, and then maybe the weekly regular Friday interviews and stuff. I'm having mixed feelings about this because when the world opens up again, I see myself traveling quite a bit. And as much as, next year I want to downsize into an RV to live. So I guess we'll see what happens. The universe will tell me, I'm pretty sure. But I like being here. I like sharing what I'm feeling every day. I would not, and I haven't been a good journaler in the past. I really struggle with that consistency. I go through little phases, and then I don't think I use journaling to the magnitude that I could or should. I don't know why, and maybe because I'm just getting lazy about handwriting. I had to do an exercise yesterday where I had to write the same 10 sentences / paragraphs 10 times, and it took like an hour. And I'm like, whoa, why did anybody use a pen and paper? It was a lot. So who knows? Maybe I'm just lazy, but I like this journey. And somebody on my team recently said that was part of, working with me compared to other people he's worked with, is this is a moving target. It's a journey. And it's not just, okay, this is what I learned in life and this is what I'm going to teach you. It doesn't look like that at all. It's, okay, here's what I'm going through. I can relate to you. And it's different. And how I feel today, I know, is different than how I feel when I started the show. And I imagine it's going to be different, down the road. Okay, my random thoughts for the morning. On to the reading. Earl P. says, is recovery part of Glasnost 2? Okay, so I looked up Glasnost because I had no idea what that even means. And here's a quote from the internet. In the Russian language, the word glasnost has several general and specific meanings. It has been used in Russian to mean openness and transparency since at least the end of the 18th century. Yeah, that didn't really clear it up for me. It sounds like it has something to do with rules and politics in Russia, Soviet Union. All right, well, here goes the rest of the reading, now that I made that clear as mud. Although the 12 steps were conceived in America, their benefits are being felt worldwide. They are now in groups all over the world, even the Soviet Union. In fact, the Soviet government has helped encourage the growth of 12-step recovery there. Alcoholism has been a terrible health problem in the Soviet Union and destroyed many lives. Again, this book was written in 1990. I'd be curious to know what gambling looks like in Russia. I might have to add that to my research list. It is gratifying to think how much help is now available worldwide. Treatment centers, 12-step programs, and support for recovery are springing up everywhere. It thrills us to think that our partners in recovery in cities and countries around the world, not just around the corner. We may never meet in person, but we find great joy in knowing that our spiritual counterparts are all over the world. Today, I am grateful for the support groups that support groups are now available in most countries of the world. I am thankful that recovery is now virtually worldwide. Okay, I had a couple thoughts surrounding this. My first was, I am not going to read this reading today. It didn't pop for me originally, but since that's my commitment is to read to you, I got past that one. The next thought I have is, it speaks to alcohol. And like I said, I don't know the status of Gamblers Anonymous in Russia. I don't know much about if there's Gamblers Anonymous there as well as Alcohol Anonymous. I suppose I can look it up while I'm talking to you. As you can tell, this is really impromptu stuff. What I did see out of the reading, that was the part I was going to run with, was, all right, well, let me back up. So last night I get a message, and I was still pretty engaged in the Tony Robbins thing at the time, but I get a message saying, hey, there's a GA meeting, you should come. So I'm like, okay, the universe must want me to go to this GA meeting. And our friend Bernie, that you guys met, oh God, early on, like episode 20 something, he runs this Facebook group and GA meetings, and he kind of has his own little group, I guess, for lack of a better word, and they're pretty engaged with each other. And it was somebody from this group inviting me, and Bernie always invites me, and unfortunately I just have not, I don't want to say I didn't have the time, but I haven't made the effort or made going to GA a priority lately, just because of all the other things I'm trying to get accomplished. There'll be a day where I get to go back on a regular basis. At least that's what I hope. So I went, and it was good. And I don't really know where everybody is from. I imagine at least all around the country. Although I am seeing more and more that there's even, worldwide GA meetings. And I think that one of the gifts, one of the many, many gifts of COVID, is that people who would have never been on Zoom calls, for example, who never would have dealt with the technology, are now, they're forced to, which I know sounds horrible. However, they have access now in a way that they didn't. And maybe they're developing their personal skills too by getting more familiar with technology. Oh, excuse me. And Zoom. I need to go for a walk and wake up. Anyway, so there's a lot of gifts to that. Also, it gives the availability. I mean, I think you can get on a GA meeting 24 hours a day now. Oh, good. I'm looking up the gambling in Russia thing. So I think that when the reading's talking about it being worldwide, I think the more interesting point is not only is it worldwide, but now it's worldwide and connected. So for me, this is a big deal because I'm enjoying getting to know people from all different places. I'm friends now with a lady from Hungary, this gentleman from India but lives in England, a lot of Australia and New Zealand people. I'm working with someone from England now. I met a fella from Bolivia, South America. I met someone from Uruguay. Like, it just goes on and on and on. And it's really interesting to me to see, you know what, people are people, and there's a lot of similarities. Now, granted, I'm in groups and different affiliations, so we're going to be, oh my goodness, so sorry. We're going to be aligned anyway, and at least whatever it is that we have in common that brought us together. But it's still very interesting. Like, between watching Shark Tank and talking to Muhammad, I'm really starting to understand that in the Indian culture, it's really important to become a doctor. And I didn't know that. I mean, maybe when we go to the hospital or the doctor, we come across Indian doctors, but I never made the connection. I didn't realize it was so important in their culture. So just random little weird things like that I'm learning. But the more important part is that we're connected, that if you can't make a USGA meeting, for example, because of, your work schedule, well, maybe you can make one from another place in the world because of the time difference. So it gives us more options as well. I did look up gambling in Russia while we were talking, and this is Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. And this is from 2009. So evidently there's only 4 areas in 2009 where gambling was allowed. It's banned everywhere else. That's pretty cool. It's sad that they need, well, I don't know if there's GA in Russia. I didn't look at that part. All right, I'm going to look at that. I was going to say, if there's only 4 places and they need Gamblers Anonymous, maybe there's an underground situation there. But I forgot the reading was about alcohol. Yes, I'm multitasking and I'm trying to not leave you bored here. Well, it definitely looks like there's Gamblers Anonymous in Russia. Okay, just solved. Ooh, there's a big list. There's probably at least 100 countries on this list that there's GA meetings in. That's a beautiful thing. I'm based on just the podcast results and the fact that we're now up to, I think, 37 countries, it tells me that there's gambling all around the world. I don't know what it looks like, but I will be trying to learn because I think it would be better to understand. And who knows, maybe there's practices in different places. I have some pretty big dreams about changing the politics and the rules and stuff surrounding gambling in the U.S. It's kind of part of my long-term plan. And since I'm not political and an expert on all that stuff, my strategy is going to be to try to connect all the like-minded people, actually, all the people who want rules about gambling, like whether it's marketing rules or access rules, whatever. I want to unite all the people that struggle instead of getting into whatever. The way it was explained to me, you got to have lobbyists and this and that. And I know I sound really ignorant on this topic. It's not something I've ever put a lot of energy into, both history and politics. And it's okay. I've survived this long without it. So when it comes time to taking my dreams to the next level on these kinds of issues, I'll require some help and I'll get it from people who are smarter than me. That's a beautiful thing, is there's so many people smarter than me that I can use as a resource. So that's the scoop today. We're connected. Gambling's worldwide. My book is old, and I'm on the fence. Not my book. This book is old, and I want to figure out a way probably to be with you guys most days. I guess we'll figure that out. All right, beautiful people. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. I am going to get my butt to work, and yeah, I guess I'll see you tonight. We are up to R. So, are you participating in Facebook groups and answering our letters for positive self-care activities? If not, there's still time. If you're listening to this relatively live. Okay. Have a great day, beautiful people. I'll touch base